With every breath, a promise to rise. Together we chase the limitless skies. Galvanize the world, feel the mind of my life. Every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity. Galvanize the world, feel the light. With every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity.
Hello, Galvanators. It is that time again. Here we are on Tuesday. Thank you for being here for our Galvanators Unite call. Hopefully you're getting into this rhythm that we're trying to create on a weekly basis to bring you just the updates, let you know what's going on in the community, and just to be able to stay plugged in. We're trying to obviously be a lot more personable than just a message in a social media platform or an email. And being here every single week is a way for us to kind of just connect, stay plugged in, and stay focused. One of the things that I've learned as I've trained entrepreneurs all across the globe for a few decades now is it's so important to just stay plugged in. This is something, as we get going and we grow, learning different skill sets, learning different things that we can do to utilize to help build our businesses and understand what's going on is a powerful tool. And as you plug in every single week, you're going to learn different things with the app that we have, different aspects of how you can service your accounts and other people in your community by the best practices as far as where you get answers, how to do different things. We're going to be focusing on different aspects of health and wellness, and of course, what we need to do with our mindset and what we need to do as far as actions are concerned to go out there and make things happen. And one of the things that I loved that I learned from Tony Robbins a long time ago, he said, a decision is a decision when action takes place after that decision. And hopefully every single week, we're giving people reasons to go and act. And it's going to be the same today. There's a lot of great information that we're going to share with all of you. And so let's get into this. Let's get started. Wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for being here. So I'm going to turn the time over first to Dr. Adam Sharp and have him share a few things today, and we'll take it from there. Dr. Sharp, there you go.
Hey, thank you, Byron. And thank you for those of you joining, whether in real time or later. We are always excited to be with you. Today is, if you've already caught the cadence, we got mind. Today's mind. Next week, we got body. Following week, we got soul. And then we got helpful medical tips or health tips. So today is on mind. And I think this is a topic that if you're a young adult, it will directly impact you individually. If you're someone who loves a young adult, which is all of the rest of us, whether that be as a friend or as a sibling or as a parent or grandparent, some important topics for the people we love in our life who are college age or young adults. So just as a reminder, this is our purpose. We're here to galvanize the world, to heal humanity. And that's really the point of these discussion points, is it's to help each one of us to be a little bit better, to understand something in a way that is more productive than we have in the past, or to inspire us to do something new, to act or to make a decision and act upon it, as Byron just mentioned. So this is the topic that I want to talk about. It's understanding the problem of mental health in this particular group. So there's different groups and we all are impacted by this. It's not unique to any one group of people. But the picture here is of my three sons. They are my oldest. My daughter's still not in that young adult category. And this was a couple years ago. But I love them. I care about them. And I talk about this with them. So part of the issue is, we know mental health has been stigmatized in the past, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I think that's pretty well believed and understood now, is not if it's stigmatized, but the extent of its stigmatization and what we can do about it. The other that I want to talk about is how the actual prevalence of mental health challenges, whether that be anxiety or depression or something else in this group, I think is much higher, as I've seen the prevalence, than I expected, probably higher than you expect. And then another fact, and this is not mine, this comes from a variety of sources, is that there are inadequate resources currently in colleges, in institutions of higher learning, in government programs, and in health systems to adequately address, identify, and treat and help people in this, college student, young adult range. So this is understanding the problem. I hope it is obvious here that if we haven't identified a problem, it makes it hard to solve, makes it hard to do anything about it. And so that's why this is key. Here are a few solutions. You have heard us talk a lot about this is part of healing humanity is mind, body, and soul. And so first it's to learn about the problem. Next is what are the tools to help us overcome or solve the problem? Another is to incentivize behavior. Obviously, incentivization is something that impacts all of us. It's part of our psyche. We all enjoy being rewarded for doing things, especially hard things. And then how do we share those solutions with others? So these are 4 simple steps that help us to help our college students, young adults, or to help them to help themselves. So let me share just a little bit about how do we learn about the problem and get over some of the stigma. So this was probably only 15 years ago. I mean, I was a 30-year-old man and had been to medical school and graduated before I understood what the actual source of pull yourself up by your bootstraps meant. This comes from the 1800s, and it was originally intended to be what it sounds like, impossible. To say, oh, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps was like to give somebody a futile task that they could never actually accomplish. That was its origin. Now, we all know that has evolved into something that it kind of represents what I learned it as a kid, which was it's that persistence and hard work and effort is required in order to achieve a difficult task. And I think both of those things are true as we think about mental health problems. Number one is just telling people without identifying the problem that, hey, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's a recipe for failure. That is not a solution. That is pretending that the problem does not exist and not providing tools, resources, and help and support in order to accomplish this. So mental health, it is a problem. It's not pretending it doesn't exist will not help us to overcome this challenge. And it's important that we help to educate our children, adolescents, and young adults. This is not unique to any particular group, but it's certainly relevant for those as we get into the prevalence for people in the early stages of adulthood. So next thing, how big is the problem? Is this just a handful of people? Is this just, 1 in 100 or 5 in 100 of young adults that are in college? And the answer is no. Not only is it not a minority, it is the majority. Now we've talked about this before. It's important that you understand, who is providing the study. This comes from Gallup and the Lumina Foundation. These are not foundations that have anything to gain by overestimating the prevalence of this problem. There's a variety of different resources, and they range a little bit in anywhere from around 50% to as high as close to 80%, whether or not they combine depression and anxiety together along with other mental health problems, or whether they look at them separately. But that's the less important key. Whether it's 69 or 60% is not what is important. What's important is the majority. The majority of young adults have, if not currently, will over the course of the next year or couple of years, will experience emotional stress, decreased mood, increased stress, and an overall lack of well-being. So it's a big problem. That's the point of this. It's not if this will happen, it's more likely when, the people in my life. And so it's something that I need as a parent to try and check in with my kids, help overcome the stigma that, hey, it's okay. If you're not feeling good, then recognize that, acknowledge it. It's not a sign of weakness to overcome something. It's actually a sign of weakness if we pretend it doesn't exist and are unwilling to do all those things that are the favorable things associated with that pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Are you able to put forth the effort to identify a problem and actually overcome it? So it's a big problem. It's a big problem for this group. So I put up, these were my results this morning. Now, here's the beauty of part of this is creating tools that help people. I don't know how well you can see this, but my mood this morning and my wellness check-in was below my average. I didn't know that and necessarily identify or recognize that I was in a slightly lower mood than normal. But the beautiful part about using this is it helps us to stay in from a biological, homeostasis. It's like, if we're doing good, we have to continue to do things to maintain that. If we're not doing good, we need to change things or continue to use healthy practices to get out of whatever challenges we may be going through. So this is just a reminder. This is for me personally. This morning, I did a little bit of exercise, didn't quite get to my hour mark, but I certainly hit my 30 minutes. And my mood was down a little bit. And so what popped up? A power up popped up, which gave me very specific information that I already knew, but frankly, I need a reminder every once in a while. So it talked a little bit about, this is just the first of a variety of things, if you've used the power ups before, that say, practice love and kindness. And it gives us a few simple things, with a quote there from Henry David Thoreau, who I like, that goodness is the only investment that never fails. And I believe that to be true. And so I thought, hey, I stopped when I recognized that my mood was down. It gave me an opportunity to be able to do something about it. And that's what these power ups offer. So you've heard this. Hopefully you know about this. Hopefully you already have the G+ app. If you have it, use it. If you don't have it, get it. If somebody that you love is in a high-risk scenario like college or young adulthood, where there's a lot of decisions to be made and a lot of stress at times, give them tools to be able to help them to overcome the challenges that come with mental health problems, anxiety and stress, depression. Identifying the problem is the first step in being able to use the effort and hard work in order to solve it. So you've seen this before. We will continue to remind you. Hopefully you will share it with those that you love, so they can benefit from having in their hands tools to be able to track themselves and overcome the challenges they're having. I believe that college-age students is almost maybe the perfect target audience for this. They already know crypto. They already love the fact that they can receive rewards. We can provide incentives for people to just to check in on themselves every day. So with that, never forget, your mind matters. Don't let it go by. It's something that all of us can do something better in order to improve our mindfulness and make sure that our mental health is optimal for our best well-being. So with that, our little mind corner today, I'm going to turn the time over to Robert, who's going to give everyone a little bit of an update on other cool features coming daily. In fact, today there's another update, but I'll pass it over to Robert.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here. I hope all of you have your Galvan Plus app open. Let's just take a little bit of a tour. In fact, as Adam referred to, today we just released our next version for the G+ app. And if you don't know how to know, if you're not sure, if you're on the latest and greatest, let me show you. So in the bottom right-hand corner, there's the More icon with the 3 dots above it. If you click on that, and then you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see version. If you are on version 3.12.3, you are on the latest and greatest. And so while I'm on this page, let me kind of highlight, I'll scroll up a little bit. We have embellished our notifications preference page. I believe it used to say notification management. So if we go into this, you'll notice that the first thing you have is the option to enable your notifications. If you turn that, then you can go and drill down into some very specific notifications. Which ones do you want to be reminded of? The first one is wellness checks. If wellness checks is not a habit for you and you'd like a little tickler to remind you of it, you just turn it on and then you pick the time of day. So for instance, I can pick this, I can put it at, usually I do it at 10:45. That'll sound kind of weird, but there's rhyme and reason for my 10:45-ness. And that is my process. So I put that, and now you can see I've got my wellness check highlighted as on, and it'll show you the time. If you ever want to change it, you just click on the time. It brings up the dialer, and you can adjust your time accordingly. The next one we have is vitals. So if you are striving to ensure that you do some of the manual vitals every day and you'd like a little reminder for that, you can turn vitals on. The other is sync reminders. If you haven't synced with Galvan in a 3-day period, we will send you a reminder to activate or to do your sync. The biggest benefit for this is for your distribution, for all the healthy actions you're taking so that you can get your points and your rewards. And so I always just on a habit, if I haven't done it in 3 days, I would love to get a reminder. If you have been doing it, then that reminder will not pop. And so it only comes up if after 3 days of not using the tool, you haven't done a sync. The next one is the community info. So if there are any updates, or for instance, we now can remind you about this call in the app itself. So we are embellishing and have expanded our opportunity to communicate new information to you through our app itself. And then this next one is system alerts. Our recommendation is that you just have this one on. So as we have new app versions, if there's any reason that we have a new update coming, etc., you'll just automatically get notified of any systematic changes to the G Plus app. And the last one, which for those competitive souls out there, if you would like to be notified of challenge invitations, if one challenge is going to start soon, if there's opportunities for your challenge that you've raised your bar on that, then you can just turn on notifications. All of these, of course, are based on your settings on your device. And so we give you a link at the bottom to go into your device settings and make sure for Galvan Plus that you have your notifications on. The other major update to the app is our personal records. So I'm going to go into our quick menu. You can see here that I see these PRs, third from the top. If I click on PRs, we now have them categorized in the mind, body, and soul section. So for instance, if I click on mind, I can see my best efforts at different areas. So for instance, 3 wellness checks per week. How many times have I hit that in a row? Looks like 50 times, and then it'll show me how many all-time wellness checks I've done. Another is we are showing you for your mood, stress, and energy, how many times you have been in the normal or better range for your mood, stress, and energy, and then how many of those have been in a better range together all at once in the same day? How many days in a row? We call it your all-in-range best streak. You can see on this one, for instance, it says 16 days. Uniquely, they should sync up because if I don't have it on the same day, it wouldn't have happened. The next area is body. So, of course, heart minutes is going to be the top one that we show. We're going to show you your best day ever of heart minutes. And then we show you your best week, your best month, and then your best streak. How many days in a row have you hit your 30 minutes a day of heart minutes? And then, of course, all time, how many heart minutes have you shown? Again, we can do the exact same with your steps. We'll show you your bests and then your all times. The other one that's probably under communicated is calories burned. Your wearables typically will show you your calories burned for a day. So we'll show you your best day, your best week, your best month, and then all times on your calories burned. Uniquely, these tie into some of the other gamification items that we have in the tools. So for instance, you can see how these would correlate to badges that we have, as well as the opportunity for challenges and leaderboards. Soul is kind of a unique one. We actually have sleep under soul. Sleep is definitely good for your soul. So we show you your best streak of 7 to 9 hours a day of sleep. You can see that my highest is not even high enough to register the easiest or common badge. So I've got opportunity to improve there, and the goal there is to improve. And then you can see my best ever month is 14 days out of the whole month. So you can see for me that I'm going to probably be setting some goals to help me in that area. And the last thing under soul is the section on goals. How many goals you completed this week, so far this month, and all time how many goals you've set. So with our new release, those are probably the two main highlights for this, would be to have your personal records and then to be notified of any items that you would like a little tickler on. Obviously, some of you have already got skills that you do these on a regular basis, and some of us need a little prompting, or our tool becomes our partner in the efforts to become better at healthy actions. That is what I have for you today. If you've got, again, any questions on that, feel free to drop me a line, and we can set up a time to discuss things in further detail. Also, the thing that I would be most appreciative of is the opportunity as you look through the app and you'll say, I wish it had. I would love to discover all those new items that you think would help us in our path to becoming more healthy, both body, mind, and soul. That's what we've got for our demo today. And on that note, I will now pass it over to Casey, our customer service savant. Casey, up to you.
Perfect. Okay, so first off, I'm going to keep this QR code up here during the presentation. Again, this is going to take you to a form on our website. We would love to get your guys' feedback. And if you fill out the form and give us feedback and a testimonial, you'll be automatically entered to win a drawing for 1,000 eyes. So send that feedback our way and you're automatically entered. The other thing I'm going to go over is we've had a few questions come into support of people asking, how do they refer their friends, or how do they have a share link? So if you go from our website, which is just galvan.health, just go to the login. We're going to log into this account here. Let me get my code. Okay, perfect. So from the homepage right here, it's the first thing you're going to see. It says sign up form. So if you just click this share sign up, this is going to let me copy the link. You can text it to people. You can email it to them. Then they're just going to put that into their URL. And as soon as they load that, it'll take them to the registration. That will link them to me or to you once you share yours. So down here, if you scroll a little further, under your My Referrals section, you can choose the option to share your name with your referrer, or you can stay anonymous. If you stay anonymous, it'll show up as friend. And so let me log into my other account here. One more code. Okay, so right here, you can see this person. I can see Casey Nelson because on that account, I've checked the box that I want to share my name. The other person that they referred did not want to share their name. So I still see them, but they're just friend number 2. That's the easiest way to do it. And then if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to support. If you go to our support page, which is support.galvan.health, one of the things you can search for here, oops, I'm logged in because I was answering tickets for you guys. So when you're here, you can search for, oops, if you spell it right. You search for share. It's going to pop up right there. How do I send my share link to refer my friends? And it'll have the steps to walk through it. If you have any questions, you can always just submit a ticket to us and we'll help you out. And with that, I'm going to send it back over to Byron.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Case. It's as I'm sitting here, guys, I've only been here for a few months and I just love everything that's going on. I love, the focus that we continually have to make things better and educate people is, Dr. Sharp is taking his experience and sharing it with everybody. All the updates that have happened in the app since I've been here have been crazy. So Robert and his team, congratulations to everything that they're doing. And then, Casey continually tries to make things better and streamline things for everybody to have an awesome experience. And so what an amazing team. And then there's a lot of people obviously that aren't here that are making a difference. And so I just want to first off thank them, because I think a lot of times, we there's a lot that we don't see, and there's so much that's going on, and it makes a big difference. And as you're out there doing your thing and sharing this is a community. So we're not doing it by ourselves. And that's what I love, is we're building something, for the globe. We really are trying to go out there and heal humanity per se. So as we're looking at what we can be focusing on right now, it's always good to ask yourself, where are you? Sometimes when the weather's overcast and it's winter and, our energy might not be where it needs to be, or different things like that. One, we have the app that can show us that, which is awesome, as we heard today from Adam. But what we need to know is, what is it that fuels us? What is it that's going to get us going? And what is your daily method of operation? What are those things that we do and we do and we do? And, like we talked about earlier in the year, it's so important that every single day, we make some type of headway and we don't get zeros. So as we're putting things in place, what is our goal and what is the minimum that we're going to do, just so that we don't slow down any momentum? Because the way that we create consistency in our lives is going to create the momentum, and it's going to advance the momentum that we have. And nothing happens overnight, but it happens a little at a time, compounding over time. And that's what the banks have figured out: compound interest. It's a little bit of interest every single day has made them wealthy. It's just a little bit of consistency over a long period of time that changes the game for us, as well as we put those same things into effect. So, on the same note of some of the things that we've been talking about today and focusing on, one of the things that I did want to share is just this: is we're focusing on, what it is that really makes a difference. And as Adam talked about, this group of individuals that are going to school, students and stuff, that are really being affected by what's going on out there. Every single one of us, I think, if we're looking at what motivates us, this is my family. And the only reason I put this up is because there's probably, I think I can think of what's going to motivate me more than anything. If any of my children need me to do something, if any of them needed a doctor on the other side of the world, or if I could help their well-being, what wouldn't I do? And so what is it that motivates you? You have people in your life that I know that you care about, whether you have a family of your own or you have close friends or different people. What is it that motivates you? What makes it bigger than you? But if any of these people are struggling, I want to know. If any of these people, if there's a solution, I want to know. To me, that's what freedom is. Freedom is having solutions and having options. And what we're doing here at Galvan is we're going to give people, and we're doing it already, options and insights that they don't have right now. And as we get better and continue to expand this community, that is just going to increase. We're going to increase options. We're going to increase opportunity. And for those that are closest to us, or those things that motivate us, that are bigger than us, we're going to be able to make things better than they otherwise would be. And so I want us to be focusing on that, because what we're doing really does matter. There's things that we can do, and we can spend hours doing a lot of different things. But when we are putting energy and effort in something that has that lasting effect, when it has that ripple effect across the pond, like when you throw a rock in a still pond, that ripple effect can affect the globe. And so I'm thrilled because we're going to be here shortly able to do things that we haven't been able to do. What is this Well Collective? What is this marketplace going to allow us to do? Well, it's going to allow us to, one, go and use our tokens. So if people have tokens and they want to use Galvan Eyes because they've earned them through the app, or maybe you have a node and you've been earning Galvan tokens through running your node. What are you going to do with them? Well, you're going to be able to do a lot with them. We're going to have products and services. And if people use their eyes and their tokens, they're going to be able to get a discount. And also, what are we going to be able to do? We're going to be able to accept different types of ways and currencies and crypto to be able to purchase products. Okay, we're going to expand the way and the ways that people can come into our community. We're going to expand the utility of what we're doing. And what I really love about this is it is going to empower people in a lot of different ways. And we're all kind of working on this together, but I love that as this launches here shortly, what we're going to be able to do is take the community that you have and just offer even more to them than they have right now. And Galvan is going to have that much more value because of all these other things that we're doing. Now, I can't emphasize how important it is right now as we're getting ready to launch this, as we're getting ready to do this, where we sit with this project. This project, I love it because even though it's community-based, you can be a node owner. You don't own the company, but you own the vote. You own the support. You help own those things in. And as a smart node owner, what you have is you're part of this community as long as the community is here. And that's up to us as we go out there and expand it. So what I love about this is one node equals one vote. And it really is. It's not, I was on the phone with big people from big organizations yesterday. It seems like almost every other day or whatever. But yesterday I was on the phone with a lot of different groups. And it's crazy. I hear the same story again and again and again. And that is one person or just a few people made a decision that affected a lot of people. Okay. And it was outside of their control. You know, they had one person that changed things. And what I love about this community, one person can't change things. And when I say one person can't change things, one person can go and make an impact. But because one person has an opinion, they can't change it for the entire community. And so as we have what I believe to be, my personal opinion, the health and wellness platform, that this is going to be the token speed to market, first to market. Why do we call it a Kleenex instead of a tissue? Because Kleenex was first. Why do we do that? I mean, I go in countries and I've been in places like Romania, and in Romania, when the wall came down after the Iron Curtain fell, when the wall came down, the first sports shoes that went into that country were Adidas. So when you talk about sports shoes, it's always Adidas. So people will say, I went and bought some Nike Adidas. So they bought Nike Adidas. In their mind, the sports shoe is Adidas because that was the first one to come into their country. And that's why you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say Xerox. You know exactly what I'm talking about when I say Kleenex. You know exactly. I want Galvan, and Galvanize our tokens is going to be, in my opinion, the health and wellness platform and token on blockchain. We are first to do what is being, nobody's measuring your mental check-in like we are. I mean, there's some people that are trying to do some of the, nobody's doing what we're doing. And we're in a position to be the Kleenex in this type of a space, in blockchain, in health and wellness. And the fact that we only have 100,000 nodes that will ever go out into this project, guys, that is huge. Only 100,000 that get daily rewards that go out there and help support this project and help support the transactions and everything else going on here. Okay, you can receive, as more and more people are going to see this, receive NFT drops for being a node owner. There's all these benefits that you have for owning a node. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, "Hey, is this network marketing? Is this MLM?" And some people like that, and some people don't. I've come from some of that world, and so I can understand why I said that. I said no. And you want me to tell you why it's not? Because there's nobody in network marketing that can join, be passive, and support the system. That can join and do nothing and still get benefits. See, somebody here, and that's not what the main thing we're looking for, but the point is someone can come here. I've had people buy 10, 20 nodes and they haven't done anything, and they get the rewards every single day, and they're supporting. They can be passive. You can have passive people. You can have active people. You can have everybody in between. If somebody can't afford a node, they can go in, get the G Plus app. We don't have the structure set up for it to be networking. In fact, it's better than that. That's why what we're putting together is better than affiliate marketing. What we're putting together is better than network marketing, is better than direct sales. Okay. We have collective marketing. That's what we're doing, because what we're doing is we're putting together a platform backed by blockchain. Guys, that is a story. If I was just starting another, I want you to think about this. And I was talking to Tony Swantek and Darren Kidd the other day, who are kind of focused on our Lincoln Rally, right? And one of the things as we were talking, Tony said to me, Byron, if I went and I was just talking to somebody about another presentation software, because they've got the presentation software blockchain that they're doing, right? Nobody would pay attention. If I was just talking about another opportunity, another like StreamYard or another Zoom or another Google Meet, what's the difference? I wouldn't get anybody's attention. But as soon as I say decentralized, as soon as I say blockchain, as soon as I say community run and owned, people listen. People listen. So what we're doing, we have the chance to be first to market and be some of the first people to tell this story to people that have never heard it. That's not always going to be the case, because as I was at that event in Florida, Darren Kidd was up on stage. I was up on stage too. I presented, he presented, some of us presented. He pointed somebody out in the audience. He pointed somebody out that he knew. And he says, that person is a huge entrepreneur, is a big business builder. He's a friend of mine, and he's not here because I invited him. He's here because somebody else did, and I didn't reach out to him. And he was making the point that if we don't reach out, somebody's going to reach out eventually, because this is too big. So what we need to do is we need to realize the position that we really are in. We need to realize that we're not going to get this time back. We're going to remember, hey, do you remember when a node was $5,000? Hey, do you remember when the company was doing things that they just won't be doing in the future? And I'm going to share with you a couple of those things here in a second. But like I mentioned, 100,000 nodes, $5,000 for a node right now. And every 100 nodes sold, the price increases $100 until we get to $25,000. And we're going to get to $25,000. And it's going to be worth it, because in a previous project, talking to some of those community members, the one that's still trading, Gala Games is still trading right now in the tens of millions of dollars, if not 100+ million a day in volume. Okay, there were times that Node was selling for over 6 figures. So we've learned from that. We cap it at 25,000, but it's $5,000 now. It's the cheapest it's ever going to be. It's never going to be less than $5,000. It's only going to go up. So hopefully people understand they can be a part and play a role in what I believe to be the Kleenex of the health and wellness blockchain space, because we're the first. We've got, do you understand that ability to do the wellness check-ins on the app? Do you understand that there was over 7 figures to buy the global exclusive rights and blockchain for that? And we're sharing that with everybody. That is powerful. So powerful. So this is what we're doing right now. If somebody buys a node, because I'm telling you what, the price is going to go up to 5,100 by the time we really launch this well marketplace. We're going to get that going. It's going to be 5,100, it's going to be 52, and then 53. And so we've got someone purchases a Galvan Smart Node right now. They're getting the Galvan Smart Node. They're getting the Boost NFT, which is basically like having 2 nodes. You get double the rewards daily for 6 months. That's $500 right now. But we're throwing that in. So you're getting a $5,500 value, and then we're giving the G Plus app. That's another $100 value. You're getting the first year of subscription for that node, for purchasing that node. So you get all 3 of these things. And on top of that, on top of the referral bonuses and commissions that you can earn, we're giving the person that shares this 300,000 galvanized tokens. This isn't going to be able to be done forever. I'm telling you what, we're going to say, do you remember when? Do you remember when Galvan did that? Because we're not going to be able to do this forever. We're doing it right now. That's the benefit of where we stand and the timing that we have. And I just want people to understand this. If it's not you that can motivate yourself, What is the outside factor? What is your why? What is your purpose? Because I'm telling you, the next 6 months are going to be huge. And I believe there's nothing we can be doing with our time over the next 6 months that can help put ourselves and our families and our future in a good place than active, focused engagement in building this community right now. I mean, that's my personal opinion, but hopefully you can see I'm living that. I'm not just talking about it, I'm living it. I put everything else in my life on hold because Galvan is where I'm going to put my future. Galvan is where I'm going to put the benefits of that I know is going to benefit my family and benefit the globe more than anything else that I could be doing right now. And there's this sweet spot on timing that we're not always going to have. So thank you for being here, guys. Once again, it always starts with a few. It always only takes a few people, and it's only ever taken a few people to change the world. And I believe we're going to be able to do that one person at a time. And it's in our hands. We have the opportunity to go out there and build that community and make a difference. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank everybody else that shared powerful things today. I love the team that we have, where we're going. Let's go out there, make a difference. And I'm Byron Belka, and I'm a Galvanator. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you.